Hello everyone,
Hello,
and
everyone.
welcome to the Hebrew Canaanite channel. Hello Tamar.
Hi, hello everyone.
And I see that already we have many viewers here on this live stream, way more than usually when we just start off. I guess I did good promotion for this live stream, and maybe the image of me being attacked by 5 thugs also did a good job in the clickbait title that I put. Oh wow, it jumped. We now have 50 people. Okay, amazing. So welcome everybody to this live stream. First thing I want to say is I'm okay. Okay, I'm fine. Look, I'm okay. They didn't break my spirit. They tried, but they couldn't. And everything is okay. But yesterday I had quite a difficult experience, and I want to tell you about this experience of being arrested. Um, and we want to take this experience and try to learn from it about the system, how the system operates, what system violence is, what defines system violence, how we should think about system violence, what the system is trying to achieve, uh, and you know, etc., etc. And Tamar is here to help me both, you know, emotionally with this. It's going to be a little bit more difficult than usual. But also, I think you will have a lot of good insight to contribute. Yeah, before we begin, let's do the usual spiel. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, share this video or other videos from the channel with your friends who you think might be interested, and if you really want to help, you can join my Patreon, and I will put the link to the Patreon in the chat here. Okay, so I did the spiel. Did I forget anything?
You're asking the wrong person, but I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But at some point you'll.
Aren't you my manager?
Yes, I'm the worst manager in the world. At some point you'll also remember to put the link ready to go before we begin.
No, I did put it in the description of the
okay.
video. I did put it in the description of the video. So if you're
okay.
watching after the fact, you can look at the description of the video to see the link to my Patreon.
Yes.
If you want to join.
And I think really one of the things that sometimes is overlooked a little bit, and I think it's so important to send it to friends and to others.
Yeah, spread
because
the word.
at the end of the day, all the other things are just an end to a means and a means to an end. And the end is that as many people as possible will listen to it, and it'll change the way that they view the world and
Yes.
think about things.
That's also a means to an end, and this end is a revolution.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And that's also a means to an end, and this end is having a good life for everyone,
Exactly.
all living beings on the planet. Yeah. This is our final goal: is a good life for all living beings on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but we go back. Someone wrote, "Let's go to 6,000 subs today." So I recently did a 5,000 subscribers Q&A, special Q&A. This was like a month ago, I think, and already we're like 5 away from 6,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed and you want to be the 6,000 subscriber, you want to be the one to push over this milestone. So go ahead.
Great. Wow. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we should begin, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Starting with the story.
Yeah.
Just telling what happened.
Yeah. So some of you know the beginning of this story because yesterday I went to a protest in Haifa, in the center of Haifa, near the Baha'i gardens, if anyone knows them. And this is a place like a square where a lot of Palestinian-organized protests happen in Haifa. Haifa is quite unique in the sense that it is, it's a demographically mixed city in Israel, in occupied Palestine, where a lot of Palestinians live, and many of the protests in Haifa are actually Palestinian organized. And that means two things. One thing that it means is that it is more radical. It is much less affected by Zionism and the Zionist ideology, obviously. And the other thing that it means is that the police is much more aggressive in their handling of these protests. And I must say, this is the first time that I attended one of those Palestinian organized protests in Haifa. I don't know why this was the case. Maybe I was a little bit afraid of going because I don't know. I need to psychoanalyze myself to see why this is the case. But maybe I was afraid because I knew that in these protests, what happens usually. Oh, I have 6,000 subscribers now.
Let's go to 7,000.
Yeah. So subscribe and let's go to 7,000 during this live. Oh my God, I'm becoming everything I hate. I'm doing it with not a slight sense of irony. Okay, so we're doing it in a self-aware way. Okay, so one of the things that I was afraid of is being arrested, because I know that in these protests, a lot of most of the time what happens is that the protest starts, and 5, 10, 15 minutes later, the police already disperses the protest, arrests like a few people or 10 people or whatever, and that's everything that happens. Okay, and maybe that was it was discouraging, because it's like, why should I go? I'll go in I'll get dressed, I'll get ready, I'll go in my car, I'll drive there, I'll look for parking, or I take the bus, which is shit in Haifa, and I get there only to completely miss the protest because I was 10 minutes late, or get there, be there for 5 minutes, and then get arrested. This is discouraging, and one of the points that we want to make is that this is the goal of the police, to discourage people from joining protests. And the more radical the protest is, the more the police, who are the servants of the regime, in Hebrew, by the way, police is called mishtara, and regime in Hebrew is mishtar. Okay, so mishtar, regime, mishtara, police. So in Hebrew, it's obvious that the police are the servants of the regime, and still people can disconnect it in their minds. But this is what they are, and the more radical the protest is, the more mistara means the ruler in Arabic. The languages are very, very close together, so that is not surprising to me. What is police in Arabic, by the way? What is police in Arabic? Shorta. Okay, so a bit less obvious in Arabic. Okay. So anyway, so the more radical the protest is, the more the police will want to discourage people from joining it, discourage people from participating in it, and discourage the people participating in it from being too radical and from doing things that are too radical. Okay, so I got to the protest, and because it was a Palestinian organized protest, and because I don't know Arabic, and or I know very little Arabic, I'm trying. Recently, I've been trying to learn more and more Arabic, but it's difficult in my late age to learn a new language. Anyway, so I joined in a way that was less, I was more like observing, and I documented by I held my phone and I did the live stream, and I spoke softly and I did some commentary during the live stream. I didn't do much. Usually, like when I go to protests in Tel Aviv, for example, and it's like mostly Jews, I'm like the most radical person there, and I fight with the police, and I was never arrested, which is interesting. Interesting because, people call me a provocator. Okay, whatever, I'm a provocator because I want to provoke power, and I was never arrested. There was one protest in Haifa when I really fought with the police. You remember that?
When you're yelling at them from afar that they're not protecting us, they're closing us in this area, or you were saying certain things. You were yelling out certain things to them as they're kind of like surrounding us. And they're trying to disperse. Yes.
And I really argued with them. This was in Haifa, but this was not this was like a more soft protest.
I think it was by Hadash.
By the Hadash party, which is like a liberal.
Like it's a Jewish.
It's a Jewish Palestinian party in the Israeli Knesset. So they are not as radical, okay? And the protest was not very radical. And again, I was like one of the more radical people there. But they didn't arrest me. They just like there were confrontations between me and them, and also they beat up Tamar a little bit.
They didn't beat me up, but
I mean, they were aggressive with you.
Yes,
just because they knew she was connected to me, and I was like being, too vocal for their taste, so they decided to be aggressive towards Tamar.
They intimidated me.
Yes.
This was after the protest was already over.
Yes.
And we were walking to the car, and you were walking like 100 meters ahead of me. So we weren't even walking side by side at that moment, but they must have realized earlier, they must have seen us walking together earlier and known that we're together, or by the fact that we're both going in the same direction and you're a bit in ahead of me. But we were literally already going home. We were walking to the car.
Yes.
And that's when they intimidated me by surrounding me and pushing me.
Yeah, like 10 thugs were surrounding you.
Yeah. And I didn't do anything.
Yes, of course.
Needless to say,
Someone is asking, why is there no donate button on this stream? The answer is that I don't know how to do it, and I never bothered to do it yet.
Oh, is it possible?
I think it's possible to do like a donate button. So I apologize for that. I will try to edit for if you ask, okay, who am I to refuse? I will try to edit for the next live stream. And for now, you can donate to my Patreon. This is the link. Okay. I think you need 1,000 subs to monetize your channel. I've had 1,000 subscribers for a long time now. So
through YouTube, though. Okay, we'll look into that actually. So.
Anyway. So let's continue the story. So I was pretty mild there. I was just, holding the live stream. You can watch the live stream. It's from yesterday. It's here on my channel. Just watch the live stream. You could see I didn't do anything. And the vibe was different. Like I knew that usually the police disperses these protests organized by Palestinians after 10 minutes, like I said. And this time they let us go on for like 45 minutes, 50 minutes. I don't know exactly. I was in the protest for like half an hour, but I was a little bit late. So probably the protest lasted for 45, 50 minutes. And people started thinking that it will be okay, that it will be different this time. Because there are changes in Israeli society now. More people are speaking up against the genocide, against the starvation. Even mainstream liberal Zionists are suddenly speaking up, and we said a lot about this and what this means. But that's the fact, okay? So there was like this feeling that maybe the attitude has changed a little bit. But then at some point, I don't know exactly what was the trigger for this. I don't know what the trigger for this was. I think maybe that people started calling out slogans. The slogans were in Arabic, so I don't know exactly what they were saying. I heard the word intifada. I heard it being said. And I think maybe some of the slogans were more radical. And I think that this was the trigger, or maybe they don't need a trigger. Maybe they just said, yeah, after 47 minutes, we will do it. Or whatever. And then the police started, there was a policeman with a megaphone going, this is an illegal protest. Disperse immediately. This is an illegal protest. And they're supposed to give you time to disperse.
Of course, yeah.
How long? So they gave us a minute, right? A minute. And within that minute, so they said this is an illegal protest. And I, stupidly, smartly, I never know with myself. I never know, like, my provocations. Are they stupid or smart? Maybe they're both. Maybe they're both in some sense.
To what end?
Yeah, to what end? So what I said was the police is illegal. That's what I said. The police is illegal. And when I said this, I looked at the police officer. And also, I think they noticed that during the live stream, I was filming them and talking about the police and talking about the role of the police.
I saw that. Oh, they hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hate that.
Do you have a criminal record now? I don't know exactly. I don't know.
No.
No,
because there's no charges brought.
No. That was what you screamed in Hebrew. Yes, I said the police is illegal. The police is illegal.
You didn't say it. You yelled it so that.
I yelled it at them.
Yeah.
And they were already. I think I was already on their radar because I was talking about them during the live and filming them. But at that moment, I saw that the like head guy there. He was looking at me and he was like, okay. And then I was marked. And then I walked to the other direction and I was like, okay, I'm going to go. But like 5-10 seconds later...
you were planning to leaving?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. The vibe was, okay, we're dispersing, we're leaving. Okay, that was the vibe. And I was like, okay. And I'm used to like protests in Tel Aviv where you can like, push it a little bit, right? And you don't have to like immediately run away the moment that they... And to be honest, I don't think it's their right to tell us whenever they want. Yeah. This is what they said in the live. Who are they to tell us? So we have the right to protest.
So someone was asking earlier, was it in fact an illegal protest? So there's something to say about this. What makes a protest legal is when you ask permission for the protest by the police, by the municipality/police or somewhere in between, and they give their approval to do it. And then oftentimes they set certain conditions on where you can be and what you can have. And I don't know if it was always like this, but more and more, like you're not allowed to have signs that say this. You can say them on the ad. And they can also say, no, we don't allow it. So I think that is actually illegal to me if you already want to stick to kind of a liberal democracy idea of freedom of speech. I don't see how you can not approve of any protest. But then if that is the case, then it will make the protest illegal because they did not give their okay for it.
Yes. This entire discussion is so drenched with hypocrisy and mishtur. So in Hebrew, mishtar, regime, mishtara, police, mishtur, policing. Okay, like how would you say
they use mishtur? They use it in many different contexts, not just in the context of actual police, but someone is trying. No, I think they use the word policing in English for the same way.
Yes. But they had like the vibe in Hebrew is a little bit like control.
Control, yeah.
Yeah. By the way, someone mentioned Where is it? I want to mention it because someone in the chat yesterday said the police are pigs. You were saying out loud that pigs were better than police. I'm sure they loved that.
When did you say that?
Because someone called the police pigs, and I said on this channel we don't use slurs based on speciesism, and I said that pigs never cooperated with genocidal regimes or oppressive regimes.
Yes.
Pigs are docile creatures. They are peaceful creatures.
Yeah.
They don't hurt anyone ever.
Yes.
And I think
it's
ridiculous. It's ridiculous to call police pigs as insults. What do you mean? Call them humans. Call them humans because that's what they are. Yes. That's what they are through and through.
Yes.
This is what humans do. All police officers are humans.
Did they hear that though?
Probably they did. I don't know. Maybe they didn't understand. They're not very intelligent. Only dogs serve the police, but this is because they've been manipulated to do it. Okay, it's not fair to blame dogs for it.
They're being forced
to.
Yes, and also they don't know that you actually love pigs, so it's not to say that pigs are better than them. Still doesn't necessarily mean it's an insult. But yeah.
Okay. I always hate comparisons to rats. They're beautiful animals.
Exactly. Yes. Absolutely.
I had a video on my Instagram. Oh, and also I put it on my YouTube channel. That what is the worst insult? The worst insult is human. That's the worst insult, objectively speaking. It's an objective fact that the worst thing you can call anyone is human. Okay.
Ben.
Yeah, horses do serve the police. Horses do serve the police, and again, it's not their fault. It's not their fault.
Yes, they're being exploited as they're serving the police.
You can go one level further and say that also the police officers are being exploited and brainwashed. This is also true, but it's like more subtle, more nuanced.
Yeah.
In a less obvious way.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, so when I said the police are illegal, the head guy looked at me and marked me and was like, okay, this guy. And it wasn't even 10 seconds later, you can see it in the live stream, that 5 thugs who happened to be wearing blue clothes, 5 thugs who happened to be wearing blue clothes, attacked me, swarmed me, attacked me, grabbed me, and roughhoused me, and kidnapped me.
So when I saw it, the video of it, from different angles, but especially the one where they grab you in the first place, they come from behind. Automatically, it made me think of movies that I watch where there's mafia, where there's like a mafia guy that comes up to like a guy like on the street. They come out of like this white minivan. They grab them from behind and they drag them into the minivan. It's like such a similar scene.
It's a kidnapping.
Yeah.
It's an abduction. This is what it is.
Yeah.
And what's going on? I wanted to write my Facebook name. Error. Try again. They don't like when you write the word Facebook on the chat. Oh, you can. Okay. Alon Nissan Cohen on Facebook. Yes, you can write it. Okay, it was just short malfunction. Okay, you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. By the way, on Instagram, I put a video. When the arrest starts, the protesters usually document the arrests for many reasons, because it's good to spread these videos to show the police violence, because people get upset by this, and rightfully so, and also because it has like legal meaning. Sometimes it's good to document the police violence.
They can make all kinds of claims that you resisted arrest, for
example. Blah blah. And so there were a couple of videos where you see this moment where the police attack me, and I put it on my Instagram channel. You can find the video and you can see them jumping me. And this is another point that I want to make. I want all of the viewers of this channel to do this exercise of thinking abstractly. Okay? I think this is one of the main tools to deprogram ourselves from the ideologies and preconceptions, transparent preconceptions that were shoved into our brains from the moment we were born by the oppressive regimes. Let's think completely abstractly. What's going on here? What was going on here was that I, a person who I think I'm a good guy.
Mhm.
I think it's like okay to say that I'm a good guy, that I don't mean to harm anyone, and that I didn't mean to harm anyone at that moment. Quite the contrary. I meant to do good in the world. So I was in the street, standing in the street, minding my business, not hurting anyone, and then five people, muscular people who were trained in violence attacked me and kidnapped me. When we describe what actually, thinking abstractly,
Yes.
like deprogramming ourselves from all the stories that they told us, but also very concretely, what actually happened. Let's describe what happened. The facts of what happened. 5 guys attacked me and kidnapped me. Put me in a van and kidnapped me. Drove me away.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This is what happened.
Yeah, took away your freedom.
Yes.
Just took control over you
Yes.
completely. Yeah, it's insane, and used violence against you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Grabbed you and took you against your will. Yeah, it's really crazy.
This is what happened.
Yes.
And the rest is a fantasy story.
Yes, the rest is all stories and
a charade, a show.
Yeah.
The rest is a show.
Yeah.
We're going to tell you all about this show. But the rest is a show.
And it's a show that it's so transparent because everybody accepts it as self-evident. I mean, yes, of course, it's the police, it's the law. They have that power, they have that right. It's a right that they have, and so people don't see the actual physical reality of like what you were just describing. That is actually what happened there.
Yes.
And it's funny because when I said about the mafia, it's the same physical actions. And but it's framed in a completely
and what's the difference?
And I think
there's no difference. The difference is the story being told,
Yes.
and the people from the mafia believe their story
Yes.
just as much as the normal people believe the story. It's the same.
It's their own internal way of controlling it.
In Sicily, the people from the mafia are called uomo di onore, men of honor. Uomo di onore.
Yes.
This is how they're called in Sicily. Okay, so they have their own story, that they're men of honor.
Yes. And in fact, it's not different. I think a lot of the mafia movies actually make that point that the state is actually just like a big mafia organization.
Yes. I one of my favorite scenes from cinema of all time is from The Godfather, where there is a conversation between Michael Corleone, who he fought in the army. I think it was probably he fought in the army, in the U.S. Army, because he was an officer. He became an officer because his father, the Don, of the mafia, wanted him to be a congressman. Okay, so he joined the army, he became an officer, and he was starting his career as a politician. But then his father gets shot, and there's problems. So he's thinking of taking over the organization. And there's a conversation between him and his loved one. I don't remember her name. It's been a long time since I watched this movie. And the conversation goes something like this. She says, "Oh, you're really thinking about being the head of the family now? This is horrible. Don't you prefer to be a congressman?" And he says, what's the difference? What's the difference between this and this? And she says, Congressman, and she calls him naive because of that. She calls him naive. And then, so he says, what's the difference? And she says, Congressman, don't kill people. And then he says to her, who's being naive now?
Yeah.
And this is, I think, one of the most powerful and, how do you say, khatrani? Subversive.
Yeah.
Subversive lines in the history of cinema. I think it's really, really important to understand that there is no actual difference between a state and a mafia.
Yeah.
A state is just a mafia that became more institutionalized and that tells more believable stories.
Yes, this whole state apparatus of police and army, and this is something that's
people want to see Benny loafing.
loaf-cat supremacy. Yes, it's true. He's such a loaf.
Benny is the best loafer
Yes.
in the world. Okay, let's move so that Benny is in the center, and then everyone can see Benny while we're talking. No, the other way. We need to go the other way.
Oh,
I
okay.
think. Whoop! Yeah. Okay. Now everyone can see Benny. Come closer to me.
To me, it's always a highlight in videos when there's a cat. Yeah.
Okay. Would you say Israel is a police/militarist state? I would say every state is a militarist/police state. The only
More so.
difference between Israel and other states is that the circumstances of Israel, the circumstances of it being a colony, a settler colony, and the result of the Zionist, the settler colonial Zionist project, and a servant of the empire. The only difference between Israel and other states is that the circumstances made everything become more extreme in Israel.
Yeah.
It's just that.
Yes.
Every criticism that you say on Israel, you can say about all other states, only in different ways, okay?
Yes, and Ben Sen says something that I wanted to say earlier, exactly that. As soon as you stand up to the government, to anything that is not according to the norms, then you will see. If you just go with the norms and you pay your taxes and you go to work and you don't challenge anything, any of the oppressive systems, then you will think that you live in a democracy and you will think that you have free speech and you will think that you have freedom. But the moment that you care about others that are being oppressed,
or even your own freedom in a
that was the
meaningful
next
way.
thing I was going to say, or that you start realizing that you yourself are actually being oppressed in maybe some subtler ways or less extreme,
more indirect ways.
Or more less extreme ways, but still in the sense that, for example, if you don't pay your taxes, you can go to jail. Then if you want to stand up against that, and if you want to truly stand up against that, not just saying some words, but actually taking real action, then you will very quickly discover that you don't live in a democracy, that you are not free, and that you don't have freedom of speech. And this happened in many cases. I think also a lot of people realized this actually during Corona. And I mean, this is a whole different topic. And I actually think that a lot of those sanctions and for people to stay home, that there's some parts to it that were important.
But it doesn't. There's two things can be true at the same time.
Yes. But it was for many people. So a lot of those people didn't think that Corona was a real thing, or they're conspiracies, which are not. But they saw it happening, like that. They went to the beach or something like this, where there's absolutely no risk for infection. And and if they wouldn't comply with them, then they could be arrested, or they could get a fine or something like this.
Yes, and I think one of the things that I understood during Corona times is that when you have a fascist structure of control, a fascist regime, and all the regimes that we have around us at this moment in history are fascist, then even when things are done that are in some way justified, and I think the quarantines were justified. I think. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I will construct this thought. It's a nuanced thought that I had. Okay. So please listen carefully and don't judge me for a misunderstanding of this, because this is nuanced. Okay. When a fascist regime does something that is in some sense justified, it's still not justified because it's a fascist regime, and that makes it unjustified in principle because it's being done by a fascist regime, and also it makes the way that it's done counterproductive in many ways. And then it's not surprising that there are reactions to this and negative reactions to this. And what I think could have happened much better during Corona times was that if we had a functioning democracy in the deep sense of the word, where we all work together and where everyone has equal power, then we could have decided together how to deal with Corona. And true democracy also includes education, also includes sharing of knowledge, sharing of technology, so that people are aware of what's going on. And fascist regimes love to make their subjects stupid and ignorant, okay, because that way they can be taken advantage of in a much more efficient and effective way, okay. So when you have a fascist regime, people are ignorant. People are suspicious of the regime, and rightfully so.
There's a good reason for that.
They're suspicious
because they lie all the time.
They're suspicious of academia. They're suspicious of science. Why? Because there is big pharma. Big pharma does exist. There are financial interests and fascist interests inside science. So, and they don't know how to read scientific research and so forth and so on. So of course they will react in a suspicious and reactionary way to the fascist regime, the regime that is factually fascist, trying to force on them something that they don't understand and don't want. And we can do it in a different way. This is why I think democracy is the
democratization of knowledge, the democratization of understanding. And then you have something very different in the very basis, in the very core of something that is built on trust rather than on distrust and on suspicion. And then you don't have to force it on people.
Yes. Okay, so every single part of the story, because this is like an extreme experience to be arrested. It's not the most extreme experience possible. There are way more extreme experiences that you can go through, but being arrested is a thing that most people don't experience. And this is something that I haven't experienced yet. And it makes you think, about many things, and you can see things much more clearly because you went against it. This is the thing, that if you just live your life, then you can pretend like you're not living under fascism. You can pretend that you're free. But if you challenge the system even slightly, you suddenly see the limits of your freedom, and the more you challenge the system, the more you see the limits of your freedom. And I challenged the system in what way? I protested the starvation of millions, including some of my personal friends, done by my society. I don't consider myself part of this society anymore. And in my name, I protested it with people who are part of the marginalized group, and the group that is targeted by these atrocities, or people who are more akin to the group that is being targeted by these atrocities, and who might be targeted by these atrocities in the future. We don't know. We don't know where this will lead.
So this is actually another point. This leads me to another point that I wanted to say, that when I said earlier that one can think that we live in a democracy as long as you don't challenge this, and I was thinking about us. I was thinking about our lives and the way that we can just live our lives according to the norms and not challenge it on political grounds. But there's other people that they don't even need to do that in order to within the society. And this is, of course, the Palestinians.
Their very existence is politicized.
Their very existence is politicized, and this is minorities. This is, for example, Black people in the US that are being stopped by the police for no reason at all.
Yeah.
And this is people that are marginalized in society for all different kinds of reasons. People that don't act in normative ways because maybe they have like mental problems or psychological problems or something like that. And then they'll do suspicious things, and the police will just arrest them and view them as violent. Or so yeah, I feel like maybe we have the choice to make. Are we going to protest? Are we going to go against it and risk this? But some people, by their very existence, even within a society that is deemed democracy, etc., will not be able to avoid this at all. And you don't even have to go like further to look outside of the society.
So let me say this in a different way, or add to this. I think mental illness is a thing that is so there are several stages to this. So what is mental illness? I think it's, first of all, just being different from other people, and then this difference causes an incompatibility with general mainstream society, which is just a product, an artifact of the fascistic regime, okay, and the ideologies and the norms that were constructed by it, manufactured by it. And so people are incompatible. Some people are incompatible with this. Then this incompatibility is pathologized by the system. So first of all, pathologized by the system, and then people are branded as mentally ill, and then they need treatment and they need help, so they put them in institutions. Watch One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. This is a very good movie to understand this point. And Girl Interrupted, another good movie to understand these points. And if the pathologization doesn't work, then the next step is criminalization.
Yes, Michel Foucault talks about this.
Okay, so this, you see how it connects to so many things. We need to do the Total Liberation series, Tamar.
We have to start it,
We have to start the Total Liberation series. Where our plan, it's becoming more and more clear, our plan, that we will do this series like subject by subject. We will, like one of the subject may be psychopathy, or like mental illness, okay? And and criminalization. And and policing and silencing and and intersectionality. Like, we will go subject by subject, okay? And we will talk about all these things. We will go deeply, okay? Instead of talking about experiences, which is also interesting, we will talk in like a broad way about different topics. So we're still working on it. We're still thinking about how to do it exactly, okay? But it will come. It will come soon enough.
All right, let's go back to the story.
Yeah, where was I in the story? Okay.
Quite at the beginning of them dragging you away like mafia, they are.
Yes. So this is what happened. And these people who beat me up and dragged me away in a van happened to be wearing blue clothes.
Yeah.
And this is what gives them the right to do it to me. Okay, so another point that we need to see here. What happened? They jumped on me and they grabbed me, and it's like 3-4 people jumping on me, and each of them grabbing me from a different angle. Okay? And pushing me down. You can see in the picture.
There's
pushing my head down.
Video that
there's a video you can see on my Instagram. You can see the video of what actually happened. Okay?
Actually, I do want to say something just shortly about this, just to put it in very.
Maybe I'm not the only one who can't be succinct.
I just wanted to say that. I wanted to say it actually very short, because I feel like we said a lot of things, and I actually wanted to summarize it and put it in very clear kind of theoretical terms, because this is the core of anarchism, which is, among other things, against states and against the idea that a state can have a monopoly on violence. And this is very directly challenging this idea that it's okay that
anyone has a monopoly on violence.
That anyone has a monopoly on violence, and that it's generally accepted and it's possible to enforce it, that when you're police or when you're the army, then you can be violent because you're part of the state, you're part of the state actors, and then it's not only okay, it's considered necessary. So this is one of the reasons why we're anarchists, because we believe this is very wrong in the core, that a state should have a monopoly on violence, which is then a recipe for oppression and for control.
Let me take it one step further. The basic position of liberals and of statists is that the police is a force of good, okay? That the police serves order, okay, and protects us. To serve and protect, right? That's their slogan. And this is a story, a fantasy that works. The propaganda and the indoctrination worked on the vast majority of the people around you. They think that the police is a force for good. But what they actually do is enforce property rights. First and foremost, they enforce property rights. This is what they do. And the way that they enforce property rights is in the favor of those who have the most property. They serve the powerful. They serve the rich and powerful. This is what they do. They serve property rights within the state structure.
To serve and protect, they did not clarify who yet.
Yes.
Exactly.
Who do they serve?
Yeah.
Who do they protect? They serve and protect the rich and powerful. And against whom? Against those who are not rich and not powerful. Against those who are marginalized. Against those who are not of the right group. Okay? And we have to understand this. And I think that the slogan ACAB is a very important slogan to understand. I have a small problem with it because what again, with, like, they call policemen pigs. This is stupid, right? Because what's the problem with pigs? And also, what's the problem?
All cats are beautiful, yeah.
All cats are beautiful. Thank you, Shakir.
I agree.
And what's the problem with bastards as well? Bastard is a
outside of marriage.
Yeah, it's an expression that's meant to insult people who were born outside of marriage. So it's an enforcement of patriarchy and so forth and so on.
Yes, it's not so connected anymore in people's minds to that. But yeah, that's
it's still true.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but anyway, the
word.
slogan ACAB is a deep one because it tells you that the entire police force and the structure that it serves, the state structure, is not in your favor. Never. Okay? And you will find out that it's not in your favor once you challenge it.
Yeah.
Okay. So they jumped on me and they started pulling me from all directions. So what happens when they start pulling you from, and they do it on purpose? They are trained to do this. They are very, very well trained to do this. They are paid handsomely to do it, not as handsomely as they as they should be paid. Like they do, the work that they do for the establishment is worth more money than what they get. But this entire establishment shouldn't exist to begin with. Okay, so like I don't know which direction I want to be a leftist in this.
Are you in favor of pay raises for the cops? Yeah.
I'm just saying that that they don't get paid, even by their own rules, they don't get paid enough. But never mind, they get paid handsomely to do this, and they get trained very well to do this, and they know their job very well. So they will pull you from all directions, and then, I mean, what do you do when people attack you? What is your natural reaction? To resist, right? They're attacking me. They're beating me up. So. I'm not someone who would, beat people up back, but still my natural reaction was to want to pull away.
Yeah, you want to protect your body, or you want to.
Yeah. But you can't do it. Why? Because the very fact now you are resisting arrest. Are you resisting arrest? They asked me. Are you resisting arrest? Are you resisting arrest? Are you resisting arrest? If I could, I would. If I could, I would. You have no right to take me. You have no right to beat me up. You have no right to take me. It's just based on your fantasy stories.
And even within that, you didn't do anything.
Yes. Yes. But that's the thing, that they create a situation where a group of people, just by the fact that they wear blue clothes and have like badges, and it's all ceremonial, right? It's a costume. They have a costume, and they have like jewelry and like oh, this is stupid. It's stupid. It's stupid. But because of that, and because I'm just a regular guy, they can beat the shit out of me in that situation. And if I resist, let alone if I retaliate this, if I actively defend myself, Israel has a right to defend itself, right? Israel has a right to defend. But I don't have a right to defend myself. And this is again a microcosm of the entire relationship between the Zionist regime and the indigenous Palestinian population being oppressed by the Zionist regime. Israel has a right to defend itself, but the Palestinians don't have a right to defend themselves, right? And once you align yourself with Palestinians and against Zionism, the police has the right to beat the shit out of you, and you don't have the right to defend yourself. So you see how everything is connected, and you can see all the small details of the oppression. This is why we're having this discussion, because it's so vivid. When it happens like this, it's so vivid you can't ignore it anymore. Okay, so if I were to defend myself, I would be accused of assault of a police officer, even though they were the ones who assaulted me. This is just a fact. They assaulted me. They kidnapped me. At some point, they intentionally took my arms and bent them and like took my arm and like bent it in a way that made me genuinely, I'm just being honest here, it made me fear that they would break my arm. And sometimes they do break the arms of protesters. Sometimes they do. And I felt like my arm was close to being broken. Probably it wasn't, okay? Probably it wasn't. But I didn't know that, and I didn't know where they would go. And this is like what they do. They go, I could break your arm if I wanted to, and there is nothing that you could do about it. This is the message that they tried to send me. Who's the powerful one? And this is something that this is one of the main points that I want to make in this conversation. That the goal of the police when they arrest protesters is to make it very, very clear who is Baal Habayit. How would you translate that? Who is the hegemon? Who is the hegemon in this? Who has the power in this situation? They want to shove into your brain, we have the power here. You are powerless. If we want to, we can beat you up. We can break your arms. We can break your legs. We can inflict pain and suffering on you. We can inflict permanent damage on your body. We can take your money. We can take your freedom. We can do whatever. There are threats that are veiled, and then the veiled threats become explicit. There's like implicit threats and explicit threats, and when they arrest you, the implicit threats become just a little bit more explicit, and the message is, don't make us make the threats more explicit. Don't challenge the system. We are the powerful ones here. Know your place. And at every point in the story, you will see that this is what they were trying to do, to show me that I am powerless against them. And this is in some sense true. It's very sad to say that in some sense it is true that we are powerless. Palestinians in Gaza are one of the most powerless populations on the planet. If we talk about Homo sapiens only, if we expand our point of view to all living beings, then all Homo sapiens have more rights than all non-Homo sapiens, all non-human animals. But among the human population, Palestinians in Gaza are one of the most powerless populations, maybe the most powerless populations. And this means that the empire, the Israeli, the Zionist regime as a servant of the empire, of the Western Empire, can just slaughter them en masse. And they can do nothing to defend themselves. And I experienced 0.00001% of this. Right. And already it was horrible.
And yes, exactly, because there are some videos that came out and you can see the rest of other people was more violent than yours. So all this is still kind of a mild version.
Yes.
Even at this protest, even yesterday.
Yes. Other protesters.
Not to mention about other places, of course, in the West Bank or.
Yeah. So we have to give context to everything. In my case, was mild, very mild. Okay. Other protesters in this very protest were thrown to the floor. Policemen put boots on their stomped on their heads, stomped on their arms and legs. I was a mild case.
Yeah.
But my arm still hurts, guys. My arm still hurts. 24 hours later, and my arm still hurts from them bending it on purpose to show me what they can do to me. So I screamed, "You're breaking my arm! You're breaking my arm! Stop it! Stop it! You're breaking my arm!" I think it hurt. It helped. I think it helped because like the more that I yelled, the more they understood that it's like not a good idea to do it to me. And I think I don't know. I think we need to learn from this because many of the viewers of this channel are people who are radical and want to do radical action and participate in radical protest. Be aware that the regime will retaliate against you for this. And you have to be prepared, okay? And I will tell more ways that I was prepared and more things that I learned. And we need to learn together. This is another aspect of solidarity. We need to learn together how to be ready to this and how to deal with this, okay? And one of the things that I want to tell you, if they behave aggressively towards you, yell, "Stop it, you're breaking my arm, stop it, you're... So that everyone sees, so that everyone hears. Don't be afraid to yell.
So, and there were some people around there. You could see that another video. You can tell. Maybe I don't know if you noticed because I wasn't there, so I only saw some videos that came out afterwards. That there were other protesters there. There are other activists there. But the moment they even tried to approach Alon or anyone else that was being arrested or being violently held down, like several police officers came to them and shoved them away. They pushed them away. So it really wasn't possible to intervene and to help, and all these people, like Alon said.
Yes, this is another one of their tactics.
And they're trained.
People who were filming the arrests were shoved away. No, don't film it because transparency is the biggest enemy of fascism. Yes. Always.
Yes.
The more people take videos of them, the less power they have. Okay? So take the videos.
And it's really also all that you can do. I mean, I've seen comments before of people saying, "Why are you filming? Why are you not helping them?" Because you absolutely cannot.
Yes.
If you try to physically intervene, like you'll be the next one arrested, you'll be pushed away, you'll be beaten up, anything. And then they'll have an excuse even to justify it also.
But information is our
of
power.
Of course, guns as well. They have weapons as well. If all else fails, they'll start shooting like in the air, or they'll use pepper spray or tear gas or whatever. They will, and they will escalate it. So there's nothing. And I think maybe sometimes this is one of the other important things to understand, not to be naive about it, of how limited we really are in what we can do, like on a physical, actual, immediate level. And this is why. Why we're talking about it and trying to expose it, because it's you're not in a situation where you can actually go there and intervene physically. It's similar to how we cannot just drive to the border and bring food into Gaza. It's like, it's absolutely, if you're being arrested like this, for being at a
just
protest,
for standing
imagine,
around, you know.
like this will happen times 100 when you try even to come close to the border, and like there's four or five big guys like with guns on you. There's absolutely nothing that you can do. Yeah. So it's important to be realistic about that and to understand it, because then you really understand just how powerful they are. Yeah.
But I think it's a good idea to expose more and more and more how violent the police is. The more we challenge them, the more we push the boundaries, the more radical we are, the more we have the courage to do things that, you know, you can endanger yourself just a little bit, okay? What I went through is not much, okay?
Yeah.
It's not much, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and this exposes the police, because now there's a video of the police attacking me, and now my father knows that the police attacked me, and now my sister knows that the police attacked me, and now I can use this. You know, now I can tell them, yeah, you're living in a fascist regime. This is proof that you're living in a fascist regime.
And they're so far removed from it, because when you were telling your dad and when you sent this video,
Yeah.
I think they were quite surprised and taken aback.
Yeah.
And like they don't realize yet this is very mild.
Yes.
You know, this is like nothing compared to what many other people experience on a regular basis. And I'm talking about people within like Haifa or something. I'm not even talking about the West Bank.
Yes.
So the fact that they're surprised by this or taken aback, what? But they just arrested you? It didn't do anything? It's like, wow, how naive are they? They know nothing. They have no idea about how these things work.
Yeah, I had a phone conversation with my father earlier today about this experience, and like some of the questions that he asked were so like I couldn't help but just laugh. Like, how naive are you? He was like, yeah, but don't the police have to give you a reason for the arrest? Don't they have to blah blah blah?
Yes.
I don't remember what was the most naive question that he asked, that it really made me laugh.
I don't know. There's so many different points. Or like, oh, you should ask to read. I mean, some of the basic rights that you should have.
Yeah. And he believes that this really works like this.
I think also earlier in the comments, someone wrote like, oh, can't you sue them? I mean, like, yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
So, but there's still a lot more to this story. So,
yeah. Someone asked, don't they read you your rights?
Oh, right. So what did they tell you? Like, when you're under arrest, why?
Yeah. So at one point, they told me I was under arrest for, and I asked, okay, what for?
Yes.
And the policeman said, you're under arrest for being a smart ass.
That's it. What he said again.
This is a direct quote of a police officer, like a high-ranked police officer in the Israeli police force. What am I being arrested for? You are arrested for being a smartass.
And what was your smartass response to that?
My smartass response for that was, oh, I didn't know that being a smartass was illegal. and I can, granted, I can be a smartass sometimes, okay? I can be a smartass sometimes, but no, it's not illegal to be a smartass. Chochmolog in Hebrew, chochmolog. Chacham is smart, and chochmolog is like a smartologist, okay? So this is like smartass, okay? You were being he was technically correct that I was a smartass. He was technically correct. I was technically correct and he was technically correct. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they did read me my rights, but this was after they assaulted me. This was after they put me in the car. Okay. So they put me in the car. And this is, so the car, it's like a van, it's a police van. And the way that the van is, structured is you have like the cabin of the driver, and behind you have the big cabin with the passenger seats. But it's not like a regular car. So the seats are, there are two parts to the van. There's like this part and this part. And this part is like regular seats, but they're organized in like a vertical way, not a horizontal way, like regular cars, in a vertical way. Okay, and in this side,
like facing each other.
Yeah, like facing like this, facing inside. Okay, and this side is like the free side. Okay, where the police officers sit, and the other side is the side of the criminals. Okay. And in this side there's like a metal wall between them, so they tell you to go inside, the criminal side, and there's a metal wall, and the wall only has like small holes for air, and they shut the door, and then you're like in a small contained space. And this is,
Wow, I'd be so scared.
yeah. So Tamar, for example, is really scared of closed off spaces. I was okay, but it's not a pleasant experience. Okay. Oh, and another thing that they did is they take my arms like this, and they put how do you call azikonim in English? Like the plastic thing.
Yeah, like plastic handcuffs.
Plastic handcuffs. I think there's a name for this. No.
It says handcuffs, but it's like instead of like the actual metal
ones, cable tie. Zip tie. It's called the zip tie. Yeah, zip tie. Thank you. Yeah, so they put a zip tie on my arms, but they put two of them on my arms. One of them was like pretty loose, and the other was really, really tight, and they did this on purpose so that it's tight, and I still have like marks on my hands, and it still hurts a little bit. And again, and during the drive, it's really like dug into my arms, okay?
Wow,
so it hurts.
It's
and
crazy.
And you sit in the car, and you don't know how long it will take before you get to the police station. And at that point, you want to get to the police station. You're like, let me get to the police station, which is also like humiliating, right? Like, why do I want to be in the situation where they interrogate? But I want to get there because the physical pain of the handcuff and the suffocation of like being in that closed space, confined space, and being in the dark and not knowing anything, it's difficult. So you just want to get to the. And this reminds me, like, not to compare, okay, but compare, okay, but it's not the same level, but it's the same thing. That I would hear Holocaust stories. And the Holocaust stories, some of them went like this. They put us in the train to Auschwitz, okay? And in the train, they put so many people in one cart, like hundreds of people in one small cart, and the tzfifut,
crowdedness.
And it was very, very crowded, and it smelled really bad, and it was dark, and people were going to the toilet in a bucket in the corner, and it was horrible. And we wanted to get to Auschwitz. We wanted this ordeal to end so that we can get to Auschwitz, so that we can be exterminated. And I always found these kinds of stories like especially shocking. Okay.
But I think this is exactly the thing when you experience something like this, which is so minor compared to that, but it gives you just such a small
like a taste of it,
such a tiny taste of it,
and then you can imagine it.
And I didn't experience it, but just by hearing it, it just makes me think of like cows that are being shipped from Australia to Israel, the live shipments, what it's called, and I can just imagine that for them it's the same, like. They don't know where they're going to, but they just want to get off the ship.
They don't even have the privilege that I had of knowing what's going on.
A lot of them die on the way as well, because they're just being choked to death. And I don't know. It's for me. It's not hard to imagine. It's like, I don't know. Like, how can you? For me, this is the reason that I'm vegan. For me, this is the reason that I'm against oppression. And I think losing your freedom.
Mm-hmm. It's the worst thing.
It's the worst thing there is.
Yes.
And this is obviously the fate of animals from the day that they're bred into existence to the day they die. And this is the case for oppressed people. And this is the case for people that are being just like thrown in jail. Without any charges.
And someone is writing in the chat. You imagine Palestinians being blindfolded, etc.
Exactly.
Yeah, when they abduct Palestinians from the West Bank, they put the blindfold on them. Yes. So these are the tactics that they use to make you feel helpless, to make you feel scared, to make you terrified, to make sure you understand what is your place, and to make you docile and to make you cooperate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is what they do. And I got a small
Yeah.
taste of it. Okay?
Yeah.
What did help me was that I knew what was going on. Okay?
Yeah.
Me knowing what was going on really helped me.
Yeah.
And
And
one
for
of-
example, Palestinians cannot know that because
Yes.
they can be abducted like this from the West Bank for doing nothing. For example, for being a family member of someone who was murdered
Yes.
by an Israeli terrorist.
Yes, let's tell this story.
They can be.
Let's tell the story of what happened a few days ago. What happened was that what is his name? Yinon Levy. Yinon Levy.
Is a murderer.
Yinon Levy. Let his name be remembered. ידוע לשמצה, like in what is the translation of this?
I don't know.
ידוע לשמצה.
In infamy.
In infamy.
Yes,
that's
yeah.
the word. Let his name be remembered in infamy. Yinon Levy, let his name be remembered in infamy forever and ever and ever in all of history.
Yes.
Because he murdered, and what is the name of the victim? The name of the victim is I'm sorry, Ode. Let me say the name correctly. We need to say the names. We need to say the name. I think in the Hebrew articles they will not say the name of the victim. Probably. Let's see.
And this is caught on camera as well.
Yes. Ode El Hadalin. Okay, he murdered him.
He murdered him. He just shot him.
He just shot him.
And then Yinon Levy was arrested.
Auda Hadalin. Yes.
Yes, and so he was arrested and released the next day.
Yes.
This murderer. And then who was arrested? The family of this murdered Ode. They were arrested, and I don't know if they're still under arrest, but these are people that when they're being taken in this way and probably blindfolded, they don't know what's next. They don't know this protocol and this charade of, okay, they're going to ask us some questions and you're just not going to say anything and they'll release you. No, they don't know that. They may become one of the many prisoners that afterwards they're trying to release through a prisoner exchange, and they just become prisoners, administrative prisoners, which means that they have
some of them can be tortured.
Yes.
They don't know. They don't know
and
what
they have
will
no
happen
idea
to
what's
them.
going to happen. So that's a completely different experience when they're underway, and they don't know if they'll be released ever.
And I want to say that sitting next to me in the police car was a guy whose name I won't say because I don't want to. There's no reason, but he was Palestinian. Okay. He was sitting next to me in the police car, and they cuffed my hands like in front of my body, but they cuffed his hands behind his body. And I think that they did this because he was Palestinian, because it hurts more, because it's more uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a very good idea of what was going to happen because I know what happens in these protests. I hear from people, on WhatsApp groups for etc. I know that they would interrogate me. I would have an unpleasant time for like a few hours, and then they will release me. Worst case scenario, they hold me for one night. Okay, this is worst case scenario and like very unlikely. I knew this. But I felt him sitting next to me, and he was scared more than I was. And I tried to tell him, everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. But inside, I knew that I don't know it for sure because he's Palestinian. Because he's Palestinian, so he's less protected by the law. He's less protected by society. And they can do more to him. Mm-hmm. He was also released together with me, okay? Nothing worse happened to him than happened to me, okay? But he didn't know that for sure, and I didn't know that for sure, okay? So he was more stressed and more scared than I was, okay? And rightfully, like it was justified to be more scared.
Mm-hmm.
So we were sitting in the car, and what I tried to do was a few things. I tried to remain as calm as I could. When they put the other people, we were like 4 people in that small compartment in the car. I asked them what their names were, and I tried to talk to them, and I tried to make the atmosphere more light. This is the things that I tried to do. I think successfully enough. Okay. Let's go back to where we were, and then because Benny has shifted. Now we can sit more comfortably. No, but this is whatever. Benny, you're not the star anymore. But come closer.
I think you made a mistake by addressing him, because now he may come to life.
Yeah.
Start talking.
Yeah, of course, Alon, you have more protection. Your father is a lawyer, which helps. Yes, it helps. It helps. Mm-hmm. It helps. It does help. So we were sitting in that car, and I tried to remain as calm as I could, and I tried to make the situation as light as possible, even though it's a very unpleasant situation. So you wait in the car, and you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how long it will take to get to the police station. You don't know what the next stage is. It's a state of my English is bad today. חוסר אונים, helplessness. And lack of knowledge, and this is a difficult situation to be in. And also it hurts, like physically it hurts, and it's like crowded, and it's uncomfortable, and it's too hot. And at some point we asked them to turn the air conditioner on, and they did. I don't know why, but they did. They turned the air conditioner on, which was something that
so
really
nice
helped.
Of them.
But yeah, so nice. But they could have not turned the air conditioner on, and I think that in some cases they wouldn't. And then it would have been an even worse nightmare. Okay, so we talk, but people, like the people next to me, they were stressed, a little bit stressed, okay? There was another guy who was more experienced. He was arrested 6-7 times. No. So he was he was talking, and he was helping us, okay? And at some point, the driver goes in the car, and they drive away. And in retrospect, I realized that we were at a police station that was 5 minutes drive away, 7 minutes drive away from where we were, 10 minutes. But we drove for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It's hard to have a perception of time because they took my phone away. But we drove for a long time. I think they, on purpose, they drive and they drive very fast so that you get a little bit scared. They do. They
weren't
have a
able
lot
to
of
see
tricks.
outside. Now it's all closed off. You're not able to.
Yes, you can't see anything. You can't see anything. You can only see the inside of the booth.
I see.
And they do it on purpose. They do it on purpose to scare you and to make you feel bad feelings. Okay, to get you to be stressed. And during that time, what I tried to do was remain calm. And in my mind, I was thinking all kinds of thoughts. I was thinking, okay, they're going to interrogate me. What will I say in the interrogation? I was thinking about it. And okay, when I was doing activism for animal rights, they did legal training. What are you supposed to do if you get arrested, if you are interrogated? And the most important thing that they told us was, don't say anything that you don't have to say. If they ask you a question and you don't know how to answer, just say, אני שומר על זכות השתיקה. I don't want to, how would you say that in English? I keep my right of silence. I plead the fifth, okay, like this. אני שומר על זכות השתיקה. I have a right to not answer. I'm executing my right.
My right to stay silent.
I'm using my right to stay silent. Okay, this is and I thought, okay, what will I say? What will I say? What won't I say? Another thought that I had was that they had my phone. What will they do with my phone? Will they break it on purpose? Will they try to go in my phone and look at my activity, my criminal activity here? What will they do? And I thought, what if they asked me about the YouTube channel? What if they asked me about stuff that I said in the YouTube channel? Blah, 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 blah. All kinds of thoughts. I thought about how to contact Tamar and to tell her what happened, because I was worried that Tamar will not know what happened to me, and so forth and so on. And also I had a lot of thoughts about the kind of thoughts that I'm sharing with you now about what this all means on a broader level. And what this experience means. And like one of the thoughts that I had was that there's a reason that I'm going through this experience, that this is a kind of initiation ceremony. And it's funny to say this, but someone is saying, I'm pretty sure they can break into the phone. That's true. What I learned today is that they have a special program that was developed by the Israeli high-tech industry. Israeli pride. We're proud of our technological innovations, and one of the technological innovations of the Israeli high-tech industry, that is the military-industrial complex, the Zionist wing of the military-industrial complex. It's called Celebrite, and that's a program that allows them to take the phone, even if it's locked, and to copy the entire phone into their computers, and then they can do whatever they want with the information on your phone. I didn't know that. I didn't even know that. I thought that they would maybe hack it. My biggest worry was that they would break my phone on purpose. That was my biggest worry. But I thought maybe they will look at my YouTube channel and ask me about that. I'm a traitor, blah, 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 blah. So what else do I want to say? Something else that I want to say is that my experience with meditation and Buddhist teaching helped me in that moment, to remain centered. I tried to meditate as much as I could, okay? And to say, okay, everything is going to be okay. I'm staying in my center, this helped me. This helped me a lot. So we get to the police station, and then they stop the car, and again, they let us wait for I don't know how long, before they let us out of the car. And the people sitting beside me were getting upset, and I tried to remain calm, but they were getting upset and impatient. And I tried to keep things as calm as possible. And also the Palestinian guy who was sitting next to me, I saw that he was scared. So I tried to remain in solidarity with him. I don't know if it worked. I don't know if it helped. I think it did help him. Because I saw that.
Was it his first arrest?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, probably.
I think so. Okay, so they took us to the police station, and then they let me consult with a lawyer. By the way, I saw Guy Adan there, who we interviewed on the Yalla podcast. Elik and I interviewed Guy Adan, who is a professional dissident at this point against Zionism. She was arrested 30 times,
yeah.
I don't know, 50 times, I don't know. It was, we interviewed her on an episode of Yalla on Elik's channel, Sound of Anarchy. Maybe I'll send you the link to the episode. 1 second. Yalla, Gaia. Done.
Yes, Danny.
Tamar, maybe you can bring us a cold drink before, and maybe we'll take a short break and I will answer some questions.
Okay. All right.
So this
So
is
just looking time-wise, there's no to tell up to the story. So maybe we should try to
we'll try to keep it more brief.
Yeah.
For now.
I think one of the points is not just to tell the story, obviously, of the arrest, but how that connects to everything, the way that the system works.
Yes. So this is the link to the episode that we did with Guy Adan.
Let me get the drink.
This was a year ago, I think. Let me see. 1 year ago. And it was a very reassuring thing to see her there, and I sat next to her, and it really helped me feel more calm. And after the fact, I saw that the reason that they arrested Gaia, she is very brave indeed, is that she, together with a couple of other protesters, they held a huge Palestinian flag in the center of Haifa, which is, it's a big no-no in Israel, in the domain of control of the Zionist regime to hold a huge Palestinian flag. I think it's even illegal to do it. It's like considered, an incitement symbol to hold the Palestinian flag. So that's very brave that they did that, and she was arrested because of that. Okay, and then they let me speak with a lawyer, and she is a lawyer who was appointed by an organization called Adala, and Adala is an organization that is meant to give legal consultation for people who go who protest, against Zionism, basically, or like leftist protests in Israel. So I spoke with a lawyer from Adala, and she explained to me stuff that, to be honest, I already knew. I started saying that when I was doing activism for animal rights, one of the things that they did during the training was give us like legal training, like what happens if we're arrested or and interrogated. So this helped me because I knew how to conduct myself in the interrogation, and so when I spoke with the lawyer, she knew that this was my first arrest. But then I was like very, knowledgeable. So she was like, "Oh, it's in your genes to to know how to conduct yourselves." And I told her, "No, I got some training." But I felt that I had a lot of preparation for this moment because I've been in this, in this shit for long enough. Okay, and I think it's a very good idea if you want to resist the system more effectively to learn as much as you can about how to conduct yourself when the police wants to harass you, wants to arrest you, wants to prosecute you. Okay, this is a tool that the state uses to make it more difficult for you to resist the regime. Okay, so the more you know, the more you understand how to keep your how to defend your own rights in these situations, the better. Okay, so please teach each other how to do it. Let's teach each other how to do it. This is a very good thing to do. Okay, this is a part of solidarity. What else do I want to tell? Okay, so they take me into interrogation. I think that's the last part of the story, the last interesting part of the story.
But there's some
the interrogation.
Funny things there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, funny. I mean, interesting.
It's both funny and scary and interesting. It's all of it.
I really am in awe of just how calm you were, and I think, like you said, it really did help that you knew what was coming, and that you're able to remember that in that moment.
Yes.
I don't see myself remaining calm in a situation like that. I don't know. I think I can imagine a lot of people just kind of lose their ability to think rationally, and of course, this is one of the reasons that they do it. It's a deterrent, and for me, it really does deter me. I was not at this particular protest. By the way, the reason I wasn't there was because I was meeting with a friend, and you didn't even know or plan on going.
Yeah, I didn't really plan to go to this.
It was by coincidence.
Yeah, kind of impromptu.
Yeah, it was kind of impromptu. So when I heard that Alon was arrested, I had to kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together.
Yeah, maybe you can tell the story of how you heard I was arrested.
Yes, so I got a message from Elik asking me if I knew what was up with Alon, because he got a few messages from people I guess from followers.
Yeah, people who watch the live stream.
That watched the live
yesterday.
saying that, well, Alex said something. I didn't.
So thank you to everyone who
Yeah.
were concerned for me and who sent messages. And
This is
this
how I
really
found out.
helped. This actually helped, okay, in a meaningful, tangible way. It helped.
Yes,
Okay?
it really did. Yes. So he said, yeah, because he was like doing a live. This is what Alex said. He's like, yeah, he was doing a live, and then it got violence, and it was cut off. So I'm like, what happened? Like he did
Yeah.
the live at home, and then something violent happened. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then I back and forth with Alec. I talked to Alec, and then I understood, and then I actually watched the end of the live myself just to kind of understand what I could find out. And
So,
tried to,
Joseph is saying in the chat, this live stream is your global safety net.
yes,
You're not even kidding.
yeah,
This is true. The fact that thousands, or maybe at this point tens of thousands of people all around the world know who I am, know what I'm about, and
yes,
and want good things for me, gives me safety, gives me security, gives me energy, gives me the force to continue. Okay,
yes,
it's not meaningless and it's not imaginary. It's real.
yes,
It's real. It helps, because if you're someone, just a random person, they can do more to you than if you're someone who's like known around the world. I'm not famous or anything. Okay, I don't. My ego is not inflated like this, but I know that a bunch of people know who I am, and if something happens to me, then this can, blow up.
yes, yes, exactly. So this is so then I asked Alec, who is in a group called Left, like for
Don't say too much.
yeah, okay. So because of in a
He asked people in a WhatsApp group,
that they know about,
and they told him that I was arrested, and they sent the video, and they sent it to Tamar, and Tamar understood what was going on.
How I knew, yeah.
And only later, the lawyer who consulted me, I gave her Tamar's number to call Tamar. Only later she called Tamar, but Tamar already knew what was going on.
Yes, that was quite a lot later, and so that's when how I knew that he was arrested, and where I should go to wait outside. So that's the story from my perspective.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I will tell about the interrogation. So they sent me to a room like an office. It weirdly felt exactly like going to the doctor.
Going to the doctor.
It looked the exact same, because there's like the desk, and on one side of the desk is the interrogator, and he has his computer, and you're on the other side of the desk, and you're a little bit stressed. When you go to the doctor, you're also stressed. And this made me think about the other side of the equation, what the medical system is.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
that
I was
it
going
is
to
also,
say, is this like a compliment to police or an insult to the medical system? Yeah,
it's both.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this is the model. This is the model of how it works.
Yeah.
And so the guy, he comes in, and he looks like a nice guy.
Oh, yeah?
To begin with, he looks like a nice guy. But he wasn't a nice guy. He wasn't a nice guy. So I don't remember every single detail of the conversation, okay, of the interrogation. But I can give you the vibes, and I can give you some moments, okay? So the vibes were that from the beginning, he was extremely rude, extremely impolite, extremely abrupt and aggressive with me. Not physically aggressive, but like verbally aggressive with me. Okay, his questions were very direct and like chodraniyot, like invasive, and like trick questions. All the questions are trick questions. All the questions are meant to put you in a situation where you're like, you don't know how to answer. Okay. And I think that this guy went through years of training, okay? He is a professional interrogator, okay? He went through training, and this training is the result of the system perfecting the tools of interrogation over, centuries at this point. They learned from each other, and this guy went through official training of interrogation. He knows what he's doing. Another point that I want to make, like a more general point, we tend to think about fascists and people who are like caught up by the system as stupid people. And I do not think that is true. I do not believe in stupid people. I believe in people whose minds were abducted by the system, and who, like, how would you say, tumtemu על ידי המערכת, like they were made stupid. They were stupefied by the system. Okay? Because when these people are serving the system, you see how smart they are. For example, the moment that I said the police is illegal, they immediately caught up to me. They knew who I was. They knew what I was about. They knew that they want to target me. They know immediately.
They know all that it means.
Yeah. They're smart. Only their intelligence is being used by the system. So they cannot use their intelligence for their own sake. Okay? Their intelligence has been appropriated by the system. I don't believe in stupid people. I don't believe in it. I believe in people who were stupefied by the system. And this guy, who's the interrogator, he was very, very smart. He picked up on every single thing that, every single detail of my body language, of my expression, like facial expression, of my energies, everything. He knew how to put me in like situation, how to ask questions in ways that would make me feel uncomfortable. He was very, very good at his job, and this testifies that he is intelligent. But he is stupid as well. Like on a broad level, he's stupid. And I knew that he was stupid, and he knew that I was intelligent. He knew that I knew that he was stupid and that I was intelligent. He knew that in an objective sense, I am much more powerful than him. This is what I said to the Palestinian guy who was sitting next to me when I saw that he was feeling, anxious. I told him, they're small people. We are powerful. They are weak and we are powerful. Remember this. And I think it helped him. Helped him. And this is what I was trying to think. I am powerful. I am powerful in the deep way. And I think that this guy who was also I have nothing against short people. Short kings, shout out to short kings. I love short people, okay? But this guy wasn't a short king, okay? He was a short person who let the fact that he was a short person make him very, very toxic, okay? And this is part of like, so he's short and he's trying to compensate for the fact that he's short, which is understandable, by the way, because people who are short of stature are discriminated. Men who are short are discriminated against heavily in our society, by the way. So he's trying to compensate for it. So he became a police officer so that in certain situations he has powerful over people who are taller than him. And I was like, I don't know, 20 centimeters taller than him. Okay? And he had this short energy, like the bad kind of short energy. And he knew that I was more intelligent than him. And he felt that I was condescending to him because I was calm. I didn't give a shit about him. And
you were not scared as you.
I wasn't scared. I was smiling, and his goal. This is like, okay, so you can ask yourself whether this is the goal of the system or like the ego of the individual. And I think it's both. I think it's like the system has a certain goal to like subdue you. The system has a goal to humiliate you, to make you understand that you are powerless in the situation. And the system uses the ego of this guy to as a tool to serve this goal, because if I don't submit to this game in which he makes it very, very clear that he is above me, and I have to behave meekishly and say, yes, I'm sorry. Oh, no, I won't do it again. No, I'm scared. Blah 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 blah. This is the game. This is the part that I'm supposed to play in this game. This makes him upset, right? Because he wants the ego trip. He wants to humiliate me. He wants to feel like his dick is big. This is what he wants. He wants to feel tall. So he wants to humiliate me, and because it didn't work, he got more and more upset. Okay?
And I think the way that it combines is that being in the police, it attracts people that, I mean, the nice story to tell is that it attracts people who want to do good and they want to help people. But I think that at least sometimes unconsciously maybe, but at least partially, the reason that certain people are attracted to this line of work is that they want to feel powerful. They, for a very variety of reasons, whether they were bullied when they were small and they want to have a chance to feel strong and powerful, or I don't know, because for another reason they were like bullies, as they were younger, and this is the kind of thing that they need, because maybe, I don't know, there's all these different psychological circumstances that we can think of why this is a stronger need for certain people than for other people. But I think it attracts people for whom it's a stronger need to have authority and to feel power over others.
Yes. And this the system uses. Okay, and the entire conversation, I felt like he was trying to make me feel small, and
didn't work
it
so
didn't
well.
work so well.
Yeah.
It didn't work so well.
So tell me one of the interactions.
So for example, he asked all kinds of snide questions about me, and he was always sarcastic towards me and impolite towards me. Like everything is sarcastic. Use sarcasm against me. And I also want to say that it does work. Okay, like I felt inside me, like even though this is a situation where I'm, a helpless individual, against the establishment, and I can see the situation for like the political structure that it is, it's still a conversation between two people, and still the emotional, psychological structures and patterns that exist in just normal interactions between two people, they're there. Okay, so if you use a sarcasm, this starts up some feelings and thoughts inside me. Okay, if he asks a question, my immediate urge is to answer the question. If he says something insulting to me, my immediate urge is to say something insulting back, and so forth and so on.
It's very hard. When I did one of these simulations, this was a training for vegan activists when we're preparing for certain action. And so it was a simulation of like you're being arrested. And it was really difficult. It was surprisingly difficult for when they're asking questions for me not to answer in the simulation. It felt very impolite. I felt like I was being impolite. And then if I was saying I am executing my right to remain silent, it felt like I was being wrong or something. And this was just in the simulation. So I can really imagine how in a real situation, you still feel the urge to be polite and to when someone asks a question,
or the opposite, when they're impolite to you, you want to be impolite.
Yes, exactly, and it's really hard to veer off from that and to understand this is not the situation to act in that way.
So he was like asking what the protest was about, and I said it was against the starvation in Gaza. Okay, and he was like, and at some point he asked, "Are you against the security forces and the state of Israel?" And I said, I exercise my right to silence. Okay, like I didn't want. I said it was irrelevant. I don't want to answer. Okay, but like what I understood only after the fact. Is that the line that they wanted to pursue was to get declarations out of me that can be considered, treason and
criminal,
criminal, like support of terrorism, blah 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 blah, because they know who I am, because they understand like they're professionals. They understand that I am someone who is a dissident against the regime. So they want me in the interrogation to say stuff that I am an anti-Zionist, and they know that I want to say to them. They know that I hate them. They know that I see them as servants of the regime. They know all this, okay? They understand all this. They're not stupid. They're not stupid, so they understand all this. So they want me to say outright these things, because if I say too much, then they can use it against me and actually charge me with something. By the way, when I spoke with the lawyer said, they're charging you with, you were arrested for attempt to disrupt the public peace. And she said, look, this is an offense that is very, very general and vague, and it's purposefully so that police officers can use this kind of very vague and general accusation to just harass anyone, especially people who are protesters, okay? And what she told me is that because this is the offense you were charged with, they have nothing on you, okay? They can't do anything to you. It's probably it's nothing, okay? So the less you say, the better, okay?
Yes, this is the whole idea behind the pleading the fifth. That you don't have to say anything to incriminate yourself.
Exercising your right for silence. Okay, this is very important.
Not to self-incriminate.
Yes. So please remember this. Is the most. If you are interrogated by the police and you don't know what to do, the default should be, and they tell you in the beginning, they tell you, if you exercise, you have the right to exercise. You can exercise your right to silence. Yes, they have to say this. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
You can exercise your right to silence, but if you do, this can make you look more guilty, okay? And this can be used against you. If you say, it can be used against you. If you don't say, it can be used against you.
Yes.
This is what they tell you, to put you in this double bind. So that if you're not prepared for this, you might
think it's better
fumble.
to answer.
Okay? You might think it's better to answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so and it might be better to answer in certain situations, but it's really hard to differentiate between the situations, and all the questions are phrased in such a way that no matter, like, when did you stop beating up your wife? This is like the example of like a question a loaded question that is phrased in a way that like no matter how you answer, you're criminalizing yourself. Okay, and this is so. For example, he asked, "Do you support?" Raising flags of incitement? And I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. So luckily, I didn't even know that the Palestinian flag was raised during this protest. It was like on the other side of the street. So I didn't even see it. So I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Okay?
And this was true. Yeah, that's nice.
Like stuff like that. Okay. And at some point, so he printed. So he said, okay, so you are now how do you say this? Like all these terms.
Yes, you have a restraining order.
Like
like you have to.
You cannot go to these areas in Haifa for 10 days. Like the area of the protest. He said that I can't go there for 10 days. And I asked why. And he said, what do you mean why? What do you mean why? Because fuck you, that's why. Like he didn't say fuck you, that's why. But you have no right to ask why. This is just the situation. And I was like, so what happens if and I don't remember exactly what the exact things said were, but at some point he said, if you don't sign this document that says that you can't go to these areas for 10 days, you will go to jail, and then you will go to in front of a judge, and then the judge will give you a bigger punishment, blah, 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 blah. So I asked him, okay, will it say in the protocol of the meeting that you told me this? And this really upset him. Why? Because they are trained to get upset when you know your rights and exercise your rights. This is one of the tactics that they use. That if you say, I have the right for this or this or this or this, they get upset and they try to gaslight you into thinking that you did something wrong by not cooperating, which is just exercising your basic rights in this situation. Okay?
They make it seem as if exercising your basic rights is being defiant.
Yes, being defiant, being impolite, being a bad boy. Okay?
Yeah.
This is the way that they want to present it, so that you feel bad and shame, like ashamed for exercising your right, and so you back down. Okay, but I didn't. I was like, okay, will this be written in the protocol? And he was like, oh, you're a clown, aren't you? Like this, like sarcastically, you're a clown. We have a clown over here. And then I was like, no, I just asked if this will be written in the protocol that you told me this. And he was like, then he called the officer. He said, whatever her name is, come, we have a clown over here. You want to hear what he said to me? And she came, and she was like, yeah, what? He wants to know if this will be written in the protocol. And then they had like a conversation where they like, disrespected me for this. Blah 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 blah, and I was like, no. And she asked me what was going on. I was like, no, I just asked if this will be written in the protocol. And she was like, yeah, sure, whatever, if you want, whatever. Like everything is sarcastic. Everything is like disgusting. Like the behavior is disgusting and disrespectful. Okay, so she went away, and then he like wrote everything down. And then he printed the papers, and then he said, give me the papers. So I said, it's customary to say please. And this triggered the fuck out of him. And I said, it's customary to say please. And he lost it, okay? And then he said to me, it's customary to not be a traitor. And the situation, it's like ridiculous at this point. It's like ridiculous. So this he got me, okay? He got me. But maybe I got him. I don't know. Because it's both a game and real, okay?
You took the bait.
I took the bait a little bit, and I said, who's being a clown now? With a smile on my face. And this was like, oh my god, okay? This really triggered him. Okay? Because I beat him at his own game, okay? I beat him at his own game. So what he did was this. So the door was open until that moment. I was being a smartass. I was being a chokhmalog, okay? I was being a smartass at that point. So he stood up. He was like this tall when he sat, and he was this tall when he stood up. And then he went to the door, and he shut the door with a menacing look on his face. And then can I do the acting? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
And then he came to me,
and
he was like, "Who do you think you are? Are you? You can't speak to me like this. You can't speak to me. Be careful like this." He tried to intimidate me. Okay. He tried to intimidate me, and I just looked up at him, and he asked me all kinds of questions that were phrased. I can't repeat those questions because I don't know how to use this kind of rhetoric, how to like phrase questions that are like incriminating. I don't know how to do it. I'm not good at it. I'm not as intelligent as they. I'm not as I don't know how to do this. So he asked me all kinds of like trap questions, and I looked up at him, and I knew that he was trying to like enforce his
make you scared.
Yeah, make me scared. And I looked up at him, and I said, I exercise my right to silence. I exercise my right to silence. And this annoyed him even more. And then at some point, I don't remember what I said that got him really upset. And he said, you want to go to the bathroom? Let's go to the bathroom together. And of course, what he meant was, let's go somewhere where I can beat the shit out of you. And to be honest, this entire situation where he was like looking at me from above, because I was sitting, he was looking at me from above. When I was sitting, he was like 10 centimeters taller than me. He was looking at me from above. And he asked me all these questions with like a very stern, and I knew, like, okay, so the feelings are mixed, okay? The feelings are mixed. Because I know that it's a game. I know that it's a show. And to be honest, I found it funny. Okay? Part of me found it funny, but also another part of me knew that if it goes south, like he can take me and beat me up and rough rough me out a little bit. Okay, he could do it, and they could like decide to keep me in arrest for the night. They could do some stuff. So also my heart was pounding, and I was scared, and also a part of me was like, no, remain calm, don't let him do this to you.
Mm-hmm. And I really wonder, like, if that was helping or hurting, the fact that you're staying calm, because in one way they get kind of their ego satisfaction if you are, like you said, meekish, and if you're scared.
Yes.
But on the other hand, if you stay collected and you keep your calm, then they're kind of losing their weapon, their most powerful weapon of scaring you. So I don't know, like, what's
like
better?
I could take another route of like playing the good kid and saying, yeah, I'm sorry, blah blah blah. I don't know if it
would have been better.
Yeah. Maybe they would have taken advantage of that in another way.
Yeah.
Okay, but also I think that there was meaning, like a deep meaning, for me being in that like state of mind in this situation. Even though it is a game, it's also real. And the fact that
he really has power.
Yeah, and the fact that I remained calm in this was also my training. Okay. And I feel that it was meaningful, that I reacted in this way. I felt that it was the correct way for me to react in this situation. So when he threatened to take me to the bathroom, this was like the most scary moment. Okay, it was the most scary moment. But also ridiculous. Like it was out of a movie, you know?
Exactly. I was just gonna say, what do you think, you're in a movie?
Yeah. Are you playing a character here? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on? And this is like fascism, okay? And I want to say that this is, again, a microcosm of Zionism in general and fascism in general. It's both ridiculous and dangerous. Think about Zionists. Zionists are pathetic and ridiculous, but also they are in reality committing a genocide and killing tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of innocent people for real.
Yeah.
It's both ridiculous and real. And this small situation that I was in, very mild situation that I was in, was a microcosm of this entire phenomenon, okay? Of the both ridiculous and real. Please remember this, that this is what is going on here. Okay. So the interrogation was finished. Everything was okay. Like I predicted, like I anticipated. Okay, yeah.
If you would have been Palestinian and you would have talked the way that you did, it might not have gone the same way.
I don't know, because there were Palestinians arrested.
Yeah.
And I don't think that I felt their vibe as well. It was a similar vibe to my vibe, and nothing bad happened to them. Maybe because they are citizens of Israel, okay?
Yeah.
Maybe because they have Israeli citizenship, then this helps them.
Because there's something about this dynamic between someone who has power over someone else and they think others are inferior. When that person talks back to them and they have the power over them, this enrages them.
Yes.
Like they feel this is like an insult on their ego.
Yes. And again, this is like in service of the system.
Yeah.
Because the system wants me to get scared because of this. Everything that happened there was meant to make sure that I understand that I am powerless in this situation, that they can cause me bodily and emotional harm and like material harm, and that they can take away my freedom, that they can beat me up, they can insult me, they can be sarcastic towards me, they can disrespect me, they can humiliate me if they want to. And that if I go to a protest against the regime, then the regime can punish me in this way if they so choose. They made it very abundantly clear. Will it work? We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so after that, the next stage was that they took my details, okay, biometric details, okay. So what they do is they take you to another room, and in this room they take your pictures. You know the cliche from the movie that they take your picture from the front, and then you turn, and then they take your picture from the side, okay. And this is again very humiliating. So the word that people like to use when they describe such situations is dehumanizing. But both Tamar and myself hate this word dehumanizing. You want to explain why? And I will get us. I will get myself another drink, and you too.
Yeah,
okay, just explain this
Yes.
part of dehumanizing.
Yes.
Okay?
So this is a word that's been used a lot. It's very, very common to use this word. And the underlying assumption in using this word is that being human is what makes us have rights, and we should be treated with dignity because of the fact that we are humans. This is like the trait that most people view as like the universal thing, as opposed to ethnicity. You know, it's as opposed to people who are have superiority based on ethnicity, for example, and say only Jews should have rights. They say no, all humans should have rights, and dehumanizing is taking away their humanity, and their humanity is what gives them the right to dignity, to respect, to equality, and to freedom. And the reason that we don't like to use this word is because this excludes all other species of animals that are not humans. And so it implies that if you're not human, if you are, for example, a cow or a chicken, then you are not afforded the same rights, and you're not afforded the same equality and the freedom. And the way we think about it, this is just another way of dividing based on certain irrelevant characteristics, and deciding who is worth something, who is not worth something, who is superior and who is inferior, and who we can control. So using this word, I think it's kind of like a common understanding that language shapes the way that we think. So I think it's not a minor thing. Every time this word is being used, or every time someone hears this word being used, dehumanization, or it's inhumane, or it's inhuman the way that those people are being treated, it reinforces this category in our mind, in our thinking, that says, yes, humans and all the other animals are transparent. That is something different. And humans deserve all these rights and should be treated as equal, and other animals, they're not part of the equation. They're not part of this contract that we should have with each other. And literally yesterday, I saw a post that someone posted, that someone requoted, someone who calls herself a radical leftist, saying that these are the universal principles underpinning being a left radical, is that these rights apply to all humans. And I'm like, yeah, you're just missing the mark. It applies to all individuals. It has to apply to everyone that feels, everyone that has a subjective experience of wanting to be free. And cows and chickens and cats and dogs and fish and rabbits, these all want to be free. None of these want to be caged. None of these want to be controlled by others. So there's other ways of saying the same thing. And
so what kind of term would you use? I was thinking, what term would I use?
Taking away, well, first of all, you can say objectifying.
Yes, objectifying
A person, or
humiliating them.
Them.
It felt humiliating. It felt objectifying.
Yes.
It felt like they're taking away my individuality, my subjectuality.
Subjectuality, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't hear what you explained, but I'm sure you did a perfect job in explaining this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give you another moment So when they took my picture from the front, they said, look at the camera. Then they told me, turn to the side. And they told me, look at the flag. On the wall. I was standing in front and I was looking ahead at the camera. And then they tell me, turn to the side. I turned to the side. And on the wall here, there was the flag of Israel. And this was like so symbolic. And I look at the flag of Israel and I was like, okay, I need to rebel in some way against the Zionist regime. And I couldn't say anything. I couldn't show them. I didn't want to get in trouble. So what I did was rebel inside my mind when I was looking at the flag, when I was looking at the fucking star of fucking David and the fucking blue stripes. I was thinking, down with Zionism, dismantle Zionism. I hate Zionism. I hate it. I hate it. I hate this flag. The fucking Nazis. I was thinking how I hate this regime. When I was looking at the flag, I was feeling hatred inside me. The good kind of hatred.
The good kind of hatred.
The hatred of Nazis, which is the good kind of hatred. You have to hate Nazis. So yeah, this was like, they didn't know, but it was a fact of reality that this is what I was feeling and thinking at the time. So this was my small rebellion against this. And
so this is
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know whether to bring this up now because it's a whole discussion of its own. But when we're talking about fascism, so this is the more overt version of fascism, where you're actually being arrested, where actually your freedom is taken away. Benny is playing with a thing here. When they're actually taking away your freedom, they're actually threatening your
Benny,
your freedom. Oh, come sit up. And this is the more overt version of fascism. But at this point, it's important to mention that the more covert versions of fascism are more rampant. They're much more, they're everywhere. So this can be people that, that's on the most basic level, they don't have to use this kind of state violence. They don't have to arrest people. There's not so many people like Alon because they have indeed succeeded in controlling the way that we think. And they have the propaganda and the indoctrination is so widespread that, the way that they couldn't control what you thought, even in the moment of looking at the flag, for most people, they don't need to execute this actual overt type of fascism.
Because for most people, when they look at the flags, they feel the warm feelings.
Yes, so the fascism is like it's internalized, it's inside of them. So it's taken over their whole being.
You know what I didn't even think about? Like now I feel like this act of rebellion was even more meaningful. Like proving that they can hold me in the room and they can tell me to turn and I will have to do what they say.
They cannot control your thoughts.
They cannot control my thoughts. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, this really helped me. Okay. So the last thing that I want to tell you about is that they took my fingerprints, and this was another humiliating moment because they put your hand on the machine and you see like the fingerprints appearing on the screen, and I was thinking about like the high-tech industry and the technology that they have, and how they use the technology, and they're proud of this technology. And the machine is like the kind of thing that you feel in an airport, right? When you go to an airport and then you're in a situation where they control.
Yes. And here too, I want to say that I think most people have internalized so deeply that this is just the way things are and they have to be it. And there's all these beautiful stories around why this is actually important and this is in our interest. So they don't even experience it anymore. This is how deep it goes. They don't even experience it anymore as a violation of their autonomy. And I think that one of the things that you have is a very strong sense of autonomy. And you feel this. You're not able to see this as it's just like this is like a normal thing. Being body searched at an airport, okay, because there's terrorists. No, you actually feel the way that it is, and that it should be felt as a violation of your bodily autonomy.
Yes. And it's not just, it's not just a symbolic thing. It's not just at that moment. Now I am in the system. Now they have the pictures of my face, connected to my name, connected to my ID number, connected to my fingerprints. And it's all in their system.
You're now in their system.
I'm now in their system. And this changes things.
Yeah, now especially with the computer systems that they have, it doesn't matter how many people are in the system. If they want to identify you at some place, at some point, they can match you just like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I can behave as if this doesn't affect me as much as I want. And in many ways, it's like, okay, fuck this. But it's not good.
And it's
also not good. They can use this against me if they want to. At some point, they can use this against me. Now I'm in their system. Now they, now someone might decide that they want to, get more information about me, find the channel, look at the channel, blah, 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 blah.
They could do like a Google search on you sometime.
This makes me a little bit scared.
Yes.
I'm not going to let it affect the way that I behave, okay? I won't. But is it smart to not let it affect the way that I behave? You see?
And in a way, the entire society, more and more so, is surveilled in this way.
Surveillance society.
With the biometric passports, at some point when you renew your passport, even though you don't have a biometric yet, I think you are required to get a biometric passport, which means they will take your fingerprints and they will take your irises, I think, your eye. And so everybody is in the system. So maybe it's not entirely the same thing as you're in the police system specifically, but if they want to, they can look up everybody. And I think, this is the reason. This is the reason why they're doing the biometric passports. Yeah. And we think of it as something benign or something even helpful and important, but that is as long as you are not against the system, and as long as you're not in a group that will be persecuted.
Yeah. Michael is saying you were already in the system when you went through the army. And that's something I didn't even think about ever. That one of the things that mandatory military service does for Israelis is that it puts them in the system. Everyone is in the system automatically. And Michael, thank you for bringing up this point. I never thought about this way. That automatically you're part of the system, and this has a lot of meaning. You can probably write a whole book about what this means, about this one point. I think so. Thank you, Michael, for this. And this situation where they take my hand and put it, and I don't want it to happen.
And you can't do anything about it.
I can't do anything about it. Yeah. I'm powerless. I can't. This is again objectifying. This is again humiliating. And it makes you feel helpless. And this is what they want. They want you to feel helpless. Should we tell what happened after, or is it I don't know if it's enough? Do you have anything else that you think we should?
Most of the highlights of the experience. And, so you were all released except for two people.
Two people were held in arrest.
Yeah.
For the night, but then they were released without these restrictions that they put on me for some reason. I don't know why.
Strange.
I don't know why. It's all of these decisions. You're like, what? Why? Why do they make this? And I think it's part of it that it's semi-random.
It can be also random,
And this makes it unpredictable, and it's good for them to be semi-random.
Yes, I used to think once upon a time, that if there is law and order, that means there is law and order. So there are certain laws and you have certain rights, and those rights are actually, you can actually execute them and you can actually use them. And really thinking that, for example, all these, it relates back to the questions that your dad was asking you, but it's your right to see what you're signing.
Yes. But by the way, the interrogator, he let me sign the papers, and I stupidly, again, this worked. It just worked on me. I didn't read. I'm someone I'm the son of a lawyer, okay? I know that when they put a document in front of you and you sign the document, you have to read the document carefully. And they didn't think to do it. They got me. I didn't think to do
So
it.
they really were able to
But
push it.
also, one second. But also, another guy who was arrested, and he is a lawyer, by the way, he told me that he asked to read it, and they were like, and they were dismissing. They dismissed it, and they were like, they probably used a trick similar to the oh, we have a clown over here. Oh, you want to read it? You want to read it before you sign it? Oh, by the way, this reminds me that during the interrogation, I made it. It was very important for me to say that they held my hand and bent my hand and almost broke my hand, and that they put the thing on my the zip tie on my hands, and that it hurt. It was very important for me to say this. And the interrogator was like, "Oh, you're such a crybaby. This is nothing. This is nothing. You're such a crybaby," right? So that I feel that it's wrong that I say this, that they physically assaulted me, okay? Because they don't want me to say this. They want me to feel embarrassed to say this, and they want me to not, stand my ground on this, to say this, that they did this to me, okay? Because this is not good for them.
So did they let him read it in the end?
No, they didn't let him read it. He had to sign it without reading it.
So I was wondering if you were being adamant about it and stubborn about it, and say, I'm not signing it until you let me read it.
Yeah.
They could have easily said, okay, so then you're saying that I.
Yes. Yeah.
They have that kind of power, and I really used to think that that's not something that they can do. I used to think like, no, they can't just keep you overnight for nothing.
Yes.
But the thing is, who controls them? Like, who checks on them? Like their supervisors or whatever. But they all back each other up.
Yeah. It's like again, it's a microcosm.
Yes. So it's not like there's like a good guy, like that's their boss, and it's not like, oh no, yeah, you violated the rights of these people. No, because he's on their side. They're on the same side, and they're backing each other up. It's like in the army, when they kill someone, like they kill a child, it's not like they actually bring them to trial and they're gonna imprison them. I mean, maybe unless the Western media completely exposes it and have to make an example.
And the Western media is also part of the system. It's all part of the system.
Yes, maybe every now and then, like they'll make an example of like a small soldier because they have to, because it's so exposed. But usually it's swept under the rug. Usually it's like, yes, we're going to investigate this, and they don't do anything with it. And I know this, like there's so many stories, and I also know from one personal story that someone just actually told me that this happened. They told me this confidentially and privately, that this is what happened. Like they're not charged with anything. Their supervisors are backing them up, and they're oftentimes one higher up also gives the order to actually do this. And I mean, people that are a little bit more aware do talk about corruption within the police. But that's not the exception. It's the rule.
It's the rule.
And I really
the entire system is corrupt.
Realize this in the past.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So like you have rights, maybe on paper, but like in the moment that you're in that situation,
they can
don't sign,
use all kinds of tricks to make you do what they want to.
They'll use means of pressure, and like you have no idea if afterwards you can sue them, and even if you try,
probably not.
You probably can't get anything out of it, and nothing will come from it. Like most likely.
Yes. The system is not on your side; it's against you.
It is against you. Yeah. So,
and if they want to, they will take away whatever they want.
Yeah.
One last point that I want to make, and this is the continuation of this point. All the people that were with me and were arrested, I felt were good people.
Yeah.
People with good intentions.
Yes.
And good people. And I met some of the best people that I met. I was talking to them. And I think that this is something that we have to remember, that these systems, and the more fascist the system is, the more it is like this. These systems, they go against the best people the most. And you wanted to say something about Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah, right. So the president of the United States can rape young girls,
Yes,
And
many, like there are so many allegations against Donald Trump.
that he-
Allegations that if you read them, you're like, yeah, of course.
yeah, he raped many women, including
Allegedly,
allegedly, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And not only is he not in jail, he is one of the most powerful people in the world. And I mean, this should be enough to make you understand that the system is not with good people. It does not favor people that have good intentions. It does not favor people who want everybody to just have good lives. And you know, the thing that maybe I want to say in this forum is that maybe when we think about leaders and politicians and people that are actually in positions of power, then it is relatively easy to understand this, even though many people still do not understand it. But I think a lot of people also do understand it. Like a lot of people that have power, they're more corrupted, or
Yes.
or they have been corrupted, or the reason they got there in the first place is because they're more exploitative people and power hungry, etc. But I think the thing that I want to say in this forum is the way that it is also using the minds and hearts of people that are not in powerful positions, and they start policing each other. So, like, for example, when we talk about things, in the end of the day, our message and what we want is for everybody to have good lives and for everybody to be free and equal. And so,
Yes.
who could be against it, right? But see how much hate we get. And
even from viewers of this channel.
Yes, when we talk about it, that we want it not only for humans, but also others that are not humans, we get a lot of hate for the fact that we want something good. So this is the way that fascism works in the societal, and it's such a successful thing. Like this indoctrination has infected so many minds that many people, most people actually cooperate with these systems in such a way that they'll police each other, they'll dismiss each other, they'll put down each other, rather than empowering one another and rather than being in solidarity, because we all want just, you know, what's good for all of us, and to realize that this is it, that this is what we should communally want, and that something that we want together.
Yes. Okay, so what do we want? I'm trying to like summarize like a few bottom lines of this conversation. So the most important bottom line, ACAB. Okay, and ACAB is a deep statement that means that the system does not have your best interest in mind.
Yeah.
The system will serve you only as much as you serve the system. And this deal is a deal that you lose from, no matter who you are. Doesn't matter. Even if you're the richest and most powerful person on planet Earth, still you lose from this deal, because what you lose is your soul. Okay? No one gains from this deal. No one should agree to this deal. No one should cooperate with the system. The system is something that has your worst interest in mind. Don't cooperate with the system. And remember that if you don't cooperate with the system, there will be some retaliation. So when you don't cooperate with the system, you need to be smart about it. You need to learn from other people who have the experience of not cooperating with the system, of going against the system. We need to learn from each other, and we need to remain in solidarity. And this is what we're trying to do here. We're trying to talk about this. And the more we talk about this, the more we understand, the better we are at this. The police has, millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars invested in their training. We should also have training. And this is part of our training. Talking like this. This is part of our training for good, not for evil. Anything you want to emphasize before we close this up?
That it can be quite disheartening to think about how little power we have in front of these systems, and that at the end of the day, the only thing that we can do is continue to get more and more people to understand these systems and to be on the same page and to become larger and larger in numbers, and to realize the really, really deep difference between being liberal and being a radical. And so that when it comes down to it, are you committed to total liberation, or are you committed to the system? And this doesn't always mean in action, because you can easily put yourself in danger and get yourself arrested. Doesn't mean that you have to put yourself in the situations where you get arrested, but at least on the level, it starts at the level of your consciousness and your minds, to be in solidarity with these ideas of total liberation. And that's the only
and what I
I
want to add to this is that I feel that this is happening more and more, because like we saw the videos of police in Berlin beating the shit out of peaceful protesters in Berlin. Okay, and these, I think, were very powerful videos. I think a lot of people saw this, and it's just one example, because we can give like 1,000 examples from the last 2 years. The last 2 years were or 21 months were a very meaningful time in the history of humanity, I think, because I think that the ongoing genocide, has exposed the system more and more and more and more and more. We see how so many people are opposing this genocide and escalating their opposition to the genocide more and more and more, and still the genocide continues. And we see how the system is policing those who are resisting the genocide. And we see people seeing how the system is policing and waking up more and waking up more. And I think that this is like someone asked in the chat, how to stop the genocide. I don't know, okay? But the process will go like this. We will escalate our resistance more and more and more and more. Every single person can do a little bit more at every single moment. The system will have to escalate its reaction to our resistance. This will expose the system more and more. The implicit threat of violence and taking of freedom and so forth and so on by the system will become more and more explicit. This will cause more people to wake up. This will cause more people to understand that the system is actually against them, to perceive, to understand that ACAB, okay? They will increase their resistance. And this is a process that really undermines the power of the system, because the power of the system really wants to keep its threats as implicit as possible. So I think good activism, one of the ways that you can do good activism, or one of the ways that you can ask yourself whether activism is effective or not, ask yourself, does it make the threats of the system go from being implicit to explicit? This is good activism, because the more explicit the threat is, the more transparency there is. And vagueness is a very, very powerful tool in the hands of the oppressive and fascist regimes.
And this is reminded me of one point, which is consciousness raising. So in the 60s, 70s, there were consciousness raising groups for women, which really sped along the feminist movement. Not to say that there's no more patriarchy, of course, but still it did succeed in many ways to raise consciousness about the position of women in certain societies. And I think this is a really important part of the change that needs to happen, the consciousness raising. And so this channel is an example of this. And I'm reminded of the video series that we're just watching now, which is called The Dark Side of Liberalism. And so there's some quotes in that series, actually.
I'll put a link to the series.
Yes, it's a good series. It's very illuminating. So he talks about the classical liberals, kind of like the roots of liberals, that one of the things they're saying, it's actually about how liberalism is meant to not to bring these values of freedom and equality to all, which they claim, but actually it's meant to maintain the privileges of the more privileged parts of society, like the bourgeoisie and those layers of society. And so one of the quotes from
the property owners.
So one of the quotes from one of these classical liberals is, what helped our position in relation to the elites that are above us is class consciousness. It's the fact that we are conscious of our position and of our power, and we bonded together. And this is how we got our achievements. And now we have to prevent the workers, we have to prevent the masses from becoming conscious of their situation. Yes,
of their class interests,
in order to protect our interests, because this is the paved way to being able to reach your interests. So yeah, what I take from that is that we should be conscious of how the systems work and the way that we are being used and the way that we are being oppressed, and not just for ourselves, because again, I think this is one of the problems with humanism, that they're thinking about, I don't want to be oppressed, so I'm in danger of maybe being oppressed as long as other humans are being oppressed. But all this thinking can still leave out all the other animals, because who cares? Because I'm a human. But
I'm a human. I'm not an animal.
Yes, exactly. I'm not a cow. I'm
just
not a chicken.
False claim. Okay.
Yes.
When you say I'm human, I'm not an animal, this is a false claim.
Yeah.
Humans are a type of animals. It's just a fact in reality. Okay.
Yes.
Please understand this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So yes, they have, of course, but non-human animals have this disadvantage that they cannot communicate with each other in a way where they can do this conscience raising. So the task is upon others to do that for them, humans such as us. So we try to do that. But yeah, so one of the ways in which you do it is to talk on this channel, but in your daily life, just to talk to people. And whenever they talk about anyone, it can be any subject. It can be a person complaining about their wages or about the working conditions that they have, or if anything, like anything can be an opportunity to talk about these things that we're talking about here. And I do this in my daily life. I do it with colleagues. I do it in very subtle ways. Sometimes people ask, like, how much do you make, if that's okay to ask, because they kind of want to ask. And I'm like, yes, of course. I want you to see what I'm making, because it's in the interest of the employers to keep this not transparent. And it's in the interest of
transparency is a form of resistance. Transparency is a form of resistance.
Yes. So I not only show them gladly and share with anyone gladly what I make, so they can see if they're making less unfairly. I also tell them that why I think it's important, because there's a lot of shame and taboo, like, oh, you shouldn't tell like how much you make. So at that moment, I take that small opportunity to break that taboo and tell them, like, they create a taboo because the employers don't want us to compare. So it's like in all these daily situations that you can be radical and try to kind of spread the message in that way. And it's, of course, going very slowly, but it's the only thing that we can do, I think. Ultimately.
Okay, I think this will be another episode in our Total Liberation series. Okay, so let's do the spiel one last time. Smash that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to reach 10K subscribers. Okay, we just crossed the 6,000 subscriber mark. During this live stream, we're trying to get to 10,000. Okay, and at 10,000 subscribers, I will do another Q&A. Someone asked in the chat like 2 hours ago, do you answer questions? So it's hard for us to both talk about the subject and answer questions in the chat. When I get to 10,000 subscribers, I will do another Q&A session where I will answer all your questions. What else? Share this video and other videos from the channel with your friends and family and your acquaintances who you think will find it interesting and instructive. And you can join my Patreon. This is the link. No, this is the link to the dark side of liberalism. This is the link to my Patreon. You can join my Patreon if you want to support me. Okay.
All right.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to us for, again, such a long time.
Thank you for anyone that stayed with us for this long. Thank you.
Thank you for writing in the chat. If you leave comments, that also helps. If you leave a like on my other videos, that also helps. Free Palestine, free the entire planet, free all living beings. Resist all oppressive systems, down with Zionism, down with all oppression, down with all states, down with patriarchy, down with capitalism, down with What other oppressive system? Down with human supremacy and down with the non-human animal holocaust. Let everyone be free and prosperous and happy. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.